to the most important thing that probably you guys would like to see solved. The spinning circle of hell, essentially the buffering that all your audience has whenever there is a quality of experience impact at the end of the day, right? So this spinning circle in the end means that the content is not being displayed properly for the audience. So in order to solve this issue, that is the most impending issue whenever there is a live event at large scale, in order to make it successful, let's go over the outline of what we will cover during this webinar. With the right stage available and also the right information to make that stage working fully, we're going to essentially go over the features and potentials that the unlocking of this information and actuation associated with that will provide to your delivery network, and also at the end of the day for the quality of experience for your audience. Now that we're talking about the thing that we want to solve, we want to have live events that are successful, that has the highest quality of experience, that has the largest audience available for the scope that you want to achieve. And of course, that is always the largest one that you can tackle with your either subscribed or free-to-air audiences. At the end of the day, what you would like to see is a successful event, right? No spinning circles, no rebuffering, no long join time, no blackouts, and essentially a smooth experience, as if all the bells and whistles that need to go through the pipe in order to make this happen, it doesn't exist, like if it was magic, right? That's what we all strive for in the industry to make happen. And that's why we as engineers and members of the industry are working day in, day out to make it happen. Let's start with what is relevant for avoiding that kind of issues. And for that, we need to understand what are the causes behind that kind of issues, and also the implications that they have at the end of the day with the audience. So first of all, whenever you have that kind of spin and circle and that video stopping, what you have is an uncontrolled quality of experience. You have a situation where the quality of experience is not under your control, because otherwise you have the problem solved, right? What is going to be the root cause for that kind of quality of experience impacts? You usually don't know because you don't have the visibility. Sometimes it can be just the limitation of the infrastructure that you have behind your own managed network. It can be sometimes outside of your control because it's a network that you don't own, and essentially you rely on it, on the open internet, to deliver the content. Sometimes that doesn't happen all the time and only happens when you have a large audience. So it's very hard to troubleshoot and to debug, because you need to have a very large audience to actually have the issue. And by the way, that usually means that it's only happening on prime time and where all the eyes are peeled and looking at the event, and then is where all the stakes are in place, of course. And then is where all the headaches come, because there is essentially a vicious circle here to understand what is the problem and also understand what will be the solution, right? Of course, this is related with delivery limitations, but those delivery limitations can happen at any point on the delivery chain. So it's a difficult problem to crack if you don't have the visibility. It can be, of course, problems in the last mile, for example. That's a normal thing that you will have as an end user. Okay, you are connected through a bad Wi-Fi and you don't have coverage for your server connection, whatever that's the case, and then there is no solution for that. Essentially, you are badly connected on the last mile. But it can be many other things, and many times are many other things that are not related with last mile. For example, it can be saturated peering points between the network providers of your audience and the source of the content. Or even we can go even backwards into the delivery chain and go all the way to your origin servers, that essentially you have overwhelmed, because in a large event you have an audience coming from all over the world, and the CDNs are not able to cache everything, and they are just relaying the request all the way to the origin, and the origin crashes. In any case, it can be a kind of situation that is hard to troubleshoot, because it can be a delivery limitation on any point of your delivery chain. And you need to have visibility and also a solution for the problem when you have the visibility to understand where the problem is. And of course, at the end of the day, all of these things, what are creating an impact for you guys is the fact that this is creating an audience churn, both during the event itself, but also on the long term for the subscripted platforms. That means that the quality of experience is not good enough, and the audience ends up leaving. They end up leaving the audience in the live event directly, but they also may end up leaving your platform altogether. And of course, that is a really important thing in order to have a successful business. And even simple changes in the resolution may have an impact. You don't need a blackout in order to have these kind of situations like audience churn, audience leaving a live event, or just churning from subscribers that are leaving your subscriber base. As changing the quality resolution, even the frame rate, just because the delivery is not able to cope without having to have a blackout, is going to impact the response time of the delivery and also by the quality of experience of the audience. And nowadays the competition is very high, and you need to strive to provide the highest quality that you can, because the audience is used to have the highest quality that is available at any point in time.